While your neighbors panic buy generators and electric heaters, one community survives brutal winters using nothing but $3 supplies and century-old wisdom. Today, I'm revealing the 7 dirt-cheap Amish secrets that could save your life when the power goes out. In the next few minutes, you'll discover exactly how the Amish stay warm through sub-zero temperatures without electricity, Wi-Fi, or expensive gear. These aren't just survival hacks, they're proven methods backed by recent studies that show some work better than modern technology. And the best part? Every single item costs less than $20. Welcome to Prep Pantry, where we uncover forgotten wisdom that modern preppers need to know. If you're serious about being ready for anything, hit that like button and subscribe, because what you're about to learn could make the difference between freezing and thriving this winter. Let's start with something so simple you'll wonder why you never thought of it before. Picture this, it's fall, and while most homeowners are rushing to hardware stores, spending hundreds on foam boards and fiberglass insulation, the Amish are doing something completely different. They're stacking hay bales against the outer walls of their homes. That's it. No drills, no nails, no permits, just hands, rope, and wisdom passed down through generations. A single hay bale costs about $3. $3. That's a fraction of what you'd pay for modern insulation materials. But here's what makes this truly remarkable. Hay doesn't require electricity, it won't crack in the cold, and it won't melt in the heat. The dense structure of hay creates millions of tiny air pockets that trap warmth and hold it close to your house. Now, you might be thinking this sounds too simple to actually work, but a 2024 study by the Rural Energy Institute found that hay bales can insulate better than fiberglass and even some high-end spray foams. Let me tell you about one man in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He hasn't replaced his heater since it broke in 1998. That's over 25 years. Every fall, he spends just 1 hour stacking hay bales along the north wall of his home, and it keeps his house warm all winter long. Meanwhile, his neighbor invested over $1,200 in new windows and still found herself shivering under blankets when her heater failed during the storm. The beauty of hay bales is their independence. They don't care about blackouts or Wi-Fi outages. They just work, quietly, reliably, and affordably. When everything else fails, those $3 hay bales keep doing their job. Now let's talk about something you probably have in your home right now, but you've never thought of it as a heating system. Candles. But not just any candles. We're talking about beeswax candles placed strategically in metal lanterns, often arranged around ceramic tiles or stacked bricks to amplify their warmth. Here's the science. A single beeswax candle produces about 80 BTUs of heat. Light several of them and you can noticeably warm a small room. Unlike electric heaters, candles don't rely on the grid. They burn clean and steady, providing warmth exactly when you need it most. There's a viral video that perfectly demonstrates this. A young man from Texas warmed his room by 12 degrees Fahrenheit in just 3 hours using only 5 candles placed in a metal bucket with river rocks. The total cost? About $12. That's far less than a space heater, and it works even when the power is completely out. Amish families have perfected this technique over generations. They line up lanterns near sunny windows, letting the rocks underneath soak up heat during the day. At night, when temperatures plummet, those candles keep the room above 60 degrees, even when it's 10 degrees outside. The key is using beeswax, which burns longer and cleaner than paraffin. While many of us are scrolling through social media looking for winter hacks, the Amish quietly light another candle, proving that sometimes the oldest solutions are still the best. But here's something that might surprise you even more. Let's talk about what the Amish do with water jugs. While the rest of us think about energy storage in terms of batteries and power banks, the Amish have discovered something incredible using just frozen water. Every evening, they fill 2-gallon jugs with tap water and leave them outside to freeze solid. In the morning, they bring that solid ice inside and place it near sunny windows. Now here's where it gets interesting. As that ice melts throughout the day, it releases a steady, gentle warmth into the room. This is called thermal mass, and it's pure physics at work. A 2024 Penn State study found that this method can raise indoor temperatures by up to 8 degrees Fahrenheit without burning a single log or using any fuel whatsoever. Think about that. You're creating warmth by melting ice. It seems counterintuitive, but it's absolutely brilliant. One Amish man in Bucks County fills 12 jugs every single night, lining them up beside his bed. The warmth radiates for hours, even through the coldest nights. No wires, no apps, no electricity, just water and the laws of thermodynamics. While modern homes struggle during power outages, the Amish rely on this simple, passive system. It's not about reinventing the wheel, it's about using what nature already provides. Now let's move to something you probably wear every single day, but never thought twice about: your socks. Forget those $40 thermal socks with moisture-wicking technology and fancy marketing promises. Amish women rise before dawn to knit thick, dense, undyed wool socks, sometimes with as many as 27 layers of wool. These socks are so warm and durable that they outperform every high-tech alternative on the market, including heated insoles and electric socks that require batteries and charging. Amish men often wear these socks barefoot or with simple wooden clogs, and they stay warm even in sub-zero temperatures. What's their secret? Pure wool. No synthetics, no chemical treatments. The design allows feet to breathe and stay dry, which is absolutely critical. See, sweat freezes, but dry wool doesn't. One Amish grandmother explained it perfectly when she said, "Your socks let your feet sweat. Mine let them breathe and stay dry." These socks aren't disposable either. They're mended and passed down through generations. When the power goes out and all your gadgets fail, Amish feet stay warm. No batteries, no Bluetooth, no charging cables required. Modern socks may look fancy with their bright colors and technical specifications, but they're designed for profit, not performance. The Amish approach is about durability, simplicity, and genuine self-reliance. Let's talk about wood stoves, but not the way you've ever thought about them before. Modern wood stoves might boast digital controls and sleek stainless steel designs, but Amish stoves are all about one thing: function. And they've discovered a way to make them exponentially more efficient. Behind their cast iron stoves, Amish families stack river rocks. These aren't just any rocks. They're carefully chosen for their density and ability to absorb and store heat. When the flames burn, those rocks soak up the warmth like a battery charging. Once the flames die down, those rocks slowly release that stored heat, keeping their room cozy for hours and hours after the last piece of wood has turned to ash. One family in Lancaster reported that their home stayed above 60 degrees for 14 hours after the fire went out, all thanks to their rock cache. 14 hours. That's more than half a day of warmth from a fire that's already gone cold. There's a man named Eli who's been perfecting the system since he was 12 years old. He's been collecting rocks from local creeks for decades, adding more to his collection behind the stove every winter. Over time, those rocks had become so efficient at storing heat that some of them remained warm to the touch days after the last fire. This isn't just about warmth, it's about respecting nature's efficiency. Heat doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to be saved and released when it's needed most. Now here's something that doesn't cost a penny, but it might be the most powerful survival tool the Amish have. When the cold bites hardest, most people turn to gadgets or call the utility company for help. The Amish turn to each other. In their world, warmth is something to be shared, not hoarded. Neighbors take turns sitting by the fire in each other's homes, wrapped in quilts, sipping tea, and simply being present. There's no formal schedule, no payment expected, just a quiet understanding that no one should face the cold alone. This isn't just about physical survival, it's about emotional resilience too. Last winter, when a woman in Holmes County lost power for 36 hours during a brutal storm, 5 neighbors showed up at her door. They brought bread, blankets, and most importantly, companionship. They didn't call it charity, they called it survival, because that's what it is. No app can replace the human connection the Amish rely on. Their community is their safety net, their alert system, and their source of warmth, both physical and emotional. When your heating system fails at 2 a.m., you can call a repair service and wait hours or days. When an Amish family faces the same crisis, their neighbors are already at the door. Let's talk about something you might not expect to hear in a survival guide: shoveling snow. While many people invest hundreds of dollars in electric snowblowers and fancy equipment, the Amish stick to simple wooden shovels, and there's a brilliant reason why. It's not just about clearing a path, it's about staying alive. Shoveling snow by hand is exercise. It gets your blood pumping, your heart working, and it generates heat from within your own body. A 2025 Harvard study found something remarkable. People who shovel snow by hand have a 40% lower risk of heart attack during winter storms. 40%. That's not a small difference. Shoveling isn't a chore to the Amish. It's a way to keep the heart strong and the body warm from the inside out. And here's another advantage: reliability. Snowblowers break down, engines jam in the cold, batteries die at the worst possible moment. But an Amish shovel, it might get patched with duct tape, but it keeps going. When a power outage hits during a blizzard, the Amish have already cleared the road for themselves and their entire community. For the Amish, snow isn't an inconvenience to be avoided. It's an opportunity to move, to work, and to stay warm through physical activity. While others wait inside for services to arrive, the Amish are already outside, taking care of themselves and each other. Now let's dive into some additional strategies that tie all of this together. The Amish don't rely on high-tech thermal gear or battery-powered clothing. Instead, they layer natural fibers: wool, cotton, and linen. Each layer serves a specific purpose: wicking moisture away from the skin, providing insulation, and blocking wind. The clothing is deliberately loose-fitting, which creates air pockets that provide extra insulation. insulation. It's the same principle as double-pane windows, but applied to clothing. They wear handmade leather shoes lined with wool that keep feet warm and dry, even in sub-zero temperatures. No batteries to charge, no heating elements to fail, just common sense and natural materials working exactly as nature intended. But staying warm is only half the battle. You also need to eat. The Amish use root cellars, underground storage spaces that maintain a consistent cool temperature and humidity level. These cellars keep food fresh all winter, without a single watt of electricity. Potatoes, carrots, apples, and jars of canned goods are stored in these spaces, ensuring a steady food supply no matter what's happening above ground. When winter storms empty grocery store shelves and supply chains break down, the Amish calmly walk down to their root cellar and pull out preserved food. They've been doing this for generations, and it works just as well today as it did 200 years ago. Root cellars are surprisingly simple to build, requiring nothing more than basic digging and some wooden supports. They're not high-tech, they're not expensive, but they're incredibly effective. This is true food security, the kind that doesn't depend on power grids or delivery trucks. And finally, there's something that runs through every single one of these strategies: manual labor. The Amish don't avoid physical work, they embrace it as a way of life. Chopping wood, shoveling snow, hauling water, carrying hay, these aren't burdens to be eliminated with technology. They're opportunities to move, to work, and to generate heat through activity. A 2025 University of Michigan study found that regular manual labor during winter months reduces the risk of seasonal depression and cold-related illnesses. Physical activity boosts circulation, strengthens the immune system, and improves mental health. For the Amish, manual labor isn't punishment, it's a gift. It's a way to stay warm, healthy, and connected to the natural rhythms of the season. When you chop your own firewood, you warm yourself twice, once during the chopping and once when you burn it. When you shovel your own driveway, you're not just clearing snow, you're keeping your cardiovascular system strong and your body temperature up. Every task becomes multifunctional, serving both immediate and long-term survival needs. As we face increasingly unpredictable winters, less snow here, more ice storms there, wild temperature swings everywhere, the Amish offer us a powerful reminder. Resilience doesn't require the latest gadgets or endless spending. It's built on simplicity, community, and working with nature rather than constantly fighting against it. These 7 methods, hay bale insulation, candle lanterns, ice jugs, hand-knit wool socks, rock-enhanced stoves, community connection, and manual labor, aren't relics of a bygone era. They're practical, affordable, and effective solutions for anyone seeking to thrive when winter hits hardest. Each one costs less than $20, and most cost far less than that. Yet together, they create a comprehensive survival system that works when everything else fails. So there you have it, 7 proven Amish methods that cost less than $20 each and work when everything else fails. From $3 hay bales to hand-knit socks, these aren't just old-fashioned ideas. They're backed by modern science and real-world results from communities that have been perfecting them for generations. The question is, will you wait until the next winter storm to wish you knew these secrets, or will you start preparing today? Drop a comment telling me which method you'll try first. And if you want more forgotten wisdom that could save your life, subscribe to Prep Pantry and hit that notification bell, because next week we're revealing the Amish food preservation methods that keep families fed for months without a single watt of electricity. Remember, resilience isn't about having the most expensive gear. It's about knowing what works when nothing else does. Stay prepared, stay warm, and I'll see you in the next one.